Look, it's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Hello, welcome to the next edition of looking at our little friend Kasey. It's now the end of the month, so Kasey's been with us now for 4 weeks, which is, not a long period of time in terms of intervention, but quite a lot of time. We've been working with him every day for 6 hours a day for this month, and we've really seen a lot of changes. And I just share a few things that we've been doing this week and some updates on how he's doing. So one of the things we were looking at this week is trying to think about some programs that might also have him use his speech and his communication in some different ways. And we wanted to try to focus a little bit more on commenting. Now you'll see in some of the videos from last week, we've been trying to get him to share and maybe make some statements, which has been great. But we also want to try to really increase his commenting. His requesting now is quite good. But we'd love to see him maybe make more social comments for the purposes of getting our attention, sharing the things that he's doing. This is going to be a big target for us over the coming few months. So one really basic program we've done this week, we did a very simple commenting program, and it's really a very simple game that we started to play with him. And we put up pictures of Santa Claus, because it's Christmas time, all over the office. And the game is that he's got to go out, and whenever he sees the Santa Claus, he's got to point it out, and he's got to look at the staff and say, hey, look, there's a Santa, to share with us that he's found one of those things. And so we strategically play this game every day where he wanders around, and it's been about Santa Claus this week, but it may come to be about many other things, and it could be going to find different people or different kinds of items. But this is the beginning this week, so we've just had one thing. Let's take a look at a video of that and see how we do that.
Look, it's Santa Claus. All right, another one.
Santa Claus.
Look, it's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Look, it's Santa Claus. So happy. We got 3 Santa Clauses. Let's go.
Look, Santa Claus.
Look, it's Santa Claus. Da-da.
Santa Claus. Look, Santa Claus.
Look, it's Santa Claus. Very good. We got it. Wow, we got so many Santa Clauses. Very nice. Look at the Christmas tree. There's so many presents.
Okay, so you can see in the video, he still needs a little bit of help, a few prompts to understand what to do, but getting much better, and this is something we'll continue to grow and develop over the next coming couple of weeks. The other program we worked on was looking at his ability to use maybe some locations. And in the last video, you've been seeing that we had some picture cards and he was identifying different places, etc. I wanted to make that more of an activity and something a bit more useful and functional. So we came up with a fun activity where we had different places laid out in the room. We had a veterinarians, we had a post office, a school, a train station, police station, different labels of different places that he'd been learning about. And we have different objects associated with those different places. And we wanted to make it a directing activity so that he would be a bit more active and more spontaneous. And basically he's got to tell the therapist which item to get to put in which location, which seemed quite a useful, functional kind of activity. Let's take a look at that.
Okay, they should go together. All right, let's start one more time, okay? Let's try it one more time. So let's get everybody come back here. Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. Now let's do it one more time. Now you do it. You tell me what to do. Put the police car at the police station. All right, there. Good boy. Put the daddy pig in the house. Get in. Daddy pig, sit here. Put mommy pig in the house as well. Let's walk over there and let's go under. And then?
In the train station.
Okay. Choo choo. You say choo choo. Choo choo. Choo choo penguin.
Put the penguin in the vat.
Put the penguin in the bed. Oh no, he's sick. He needs to go to see the doctor.
Put dog in the post office.
No, the dog doesn't go to the post office. The dog goes to the...
Vat.
You're right. So what do I do with the dog again?
In the vat.
Put the dog in the bed.
Put the dog in the vat.
You are right. All right, let's go. Woof, woof. There you go. And then...
Put the ball in the office.
Not the post office. Why should go there?
Put the ball in the preschool.
Put the boy in the school. Okay, let's go to school.
Okay, so he's doing good with that. Using a really long sentence and, understanding those locations and some of the relationships with some of the things that are associated with those places. Another game that we taught him this week was to continue to look at his attending. And there's a game that we play with children called Slapjack. And another variation is something called Secret Word. So we've been teaching him that this week. And I just want to go through a little bit more in detail how we teach that process. So the first element of the game is really more about visual attention in terms of where he's watching. He's got to pay really good attention with his eyes to see what's happening. And the first stage of the game is he's given a card and the therapist is going to place cards down. And when his card matches with the thing on the floor, he's got to put it on top. So he's got to watch very carefully and be quite aware of the thing he's holding in his hand. This is our baseline when we just started to teach him this week.
Zebra.
That's right. So we have so many cards over here. We gotta play a new game called Slapjack. And you gotta pick something that you like. How about you pick one animal that you like? Do you like the rooster or the pig or the elephant?
Elephant.
You like the elephant? Okay. So you're going to hold the card. And when you see the elephant again, you're going to put the cards in. That's right. Just hold it for now. Okay, ready? Let's play Slapjack. Rooster. Hang on. It's different. It's not the elephant yet, so you need to hold it. That's right. Try again. Rooster. That's right. Don't put it in because it's not the same. Pig. Elephant.
Elephant.
Yes, it's the same, so you put it in. See, matching, matching. It's the elephant. All right. Now, let's try again. This time, do you like zebra or elephant?
Zebra.
Zebra, okay. So when you see the zebra again, then you put it on. You gotta match it. Okay, ready? Go. Rooster. That's right. Spoon.
Okay, so you can see he's a bit confused in the beginning. Here's another video of, I think, probably a day later of him, being much better in that activity.
What are we going to do now? Let's... Okay. You want to pick one? Which one do you like?
Elephant.
Elephant again? Okay. Let's do one more round.
Elephant.
Not yet. I'm going to put down the cards. You're going to look when to match. Okay? I'm going to start. Spoon. Cup. Cup. Spoon. Fork. Rooster. Elephant. Ah! Yeah, lucky. You just got it.
Okay, so you can see he's paying quite good attention to what's happening. Variations on that might be we might do even more cards, we might go a bit faster, or we could even give him 2 cards to, have to decide which one to put in. All of those things could improve his ability to attend to that task. I'm going to show you another video now of a variation where now he's got to listen. Because up to this point he's just got to watch. So we're going to change him. Now we're going to make him really listen carefully to what the staff says. So instead of putting the pictures down, she's going to put blank cards down. And when she puts the blank card down, she's going to say the label. So if he's holding the elephant, the staff would put down a card and say apple, ball, bus, and when she says elephant, he's got to put his card on top. Okay, so let's have a look at that.
Elephant. Zebra. Yes! You matched the zebra! Excellent!
So you can see, still needing a little bit of practice, but getting there, he's listening quite carefully to what the therapist said. This is good. Another variation on this is we move this to something called secret word. It's really the same thing, but instead of him matching, he now has to ring a bell. So the therapist is going to be putting down cards and saying words, and then he's going to ring the bell when he hears the right word. Let's have a look at that.
Snowman, okay? Listen up. Santa, doggy, rabbit, snowman. Very good.
Okay, so you're going to see the reason why we teach those games probably in the coming weeks, because they have a lot of applications to a lot of different things in groups and other kinds of situations that can be really, really helpful to train attending. But that's a very foundational skill and an interesting one that we teach. The other thing we've been doing this week is we've been working on, again, getting him a bit more ready for group. And you saw last week how we were starting to teach him conditional directions and learning about some of the different instruction formats in a group. We also wanted to work on him maybe being able to direct a little bit of a group and how to learn to be the teacher a little bit. So we came up with a fun activity around pretending. And basically what happens is that the different people in the group get to go sit in the teacher's chair, and then they get to tell the rest of the group what they should be pretending to be. And so it's very simple. We have a card they pick up and it tells them what they should tell the group to do, so it's a bit more structured. Let's take a look at that and see how
Alright, so today we're going to play a little game. So now, Ivy, you're going to come up, you're going to show us what to do. So you're going to be holding the magic wand, and here's the card.
Everybody pretend to be a frog.
Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Good. Alright, Ivy, another one.
Everybody pretend to be a bird.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
Very
Good.
good.
Alright, another one for you, Ivy.
Okay. Everyone pretend to be a cow. Oh, there are 2 cows in the room.
Alright,
That's
thank you,
right.
Ivy. Now,
Okay.
Wayne, you can come up, it's your turn. Good. Here's a magic wand, and here's a card.
I want everybody pretend to be a horse. Nay!
Nay, nay.
Very nice.
Alright, another one.
Everybody pretend to be a bee. Buzz. Got 2 bees.
Alright, thank you, Wayne. You can give me the magic wand, and you can go back and sit down. Now, Kasey, your turn. Kasey, your turn. Come and sit down. Good. Here's your magic wand. Here's your card. And look at it.
Cat.
Everybody,
Pretend the cat. Meow, meow.
everybody pretend to be cat.
Meow, meow.
Oh, meow.
Good. Another one. Everybody.
Pretend the tiger.
Rah.
Good. There you go.
Rabbit.
Okay.
Everybody. Pretend the rabbit.
Bumpity bump, bumpity bump.
Good job, Kasey. Another one for you.
Chip. Everybody. Pretend the chip.
Okay, so there's some nice things you see in that video, as well as working on him being the teacher. There's a lot of observational learning going on in there too. You see when the other people are teachers and telling the other staff to pretend to be a certain animal, he's not always sure what to do. He doesn't know kind of what he's supposed to be doing at that time. So he's watching the other people and he's copying what they're doing. That's a really critical, important skill when you're learning in a group. So we're very happy that we can be embedding those kinds of skills into that kind of exercise as well. So you know, this is a great activity to get him again ready for the group that he's going to be going to next year, and we're excited to see that. This will probably be our last video before Christmas. We're going to do one little special video probably at Christmas time, which will be something a bit different. But it's been a great exercise for us to be running this program and to be sharing with you more about what we're doing. Next year, we may also create a bit more of a resource for you where we can actually have a look in more depth at some of the programs, how we did it, what we do when we're doing the therapy, as opposed to just showing you what the progress is. So there's a lot of things in motion for next year. It's been really great to share Kasey's progress with you this year so far, and I look forward to making more videos next year to help you to understand more about what AP's approach is and how it can help children. So I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for 2017.